Hi, this is Andy Filipiuk in Toronto for the week of February the 3rd. This week I have another Alasdair Macleod article that I thought I'd talk about because it is so interesting in terms of relating history to the present. Alasdair Macleod's a former London stockbroker who now works at Gold Money and is an amazing market historian. But in this article that I've included a link to, he compares the modern central banking system we have to John Law's 18th century money experiment with the King of France. Effectively, John Law was given control over the French money or currency system. He subsequently used the king's debt backing the monetary base, similar to the US in these days. Back then, gold was usually used, or silver, but they used the government debt to back the currency. Subsequently, he controlled several companies, one being the Mississippi Land in the Mississippi Valley in the US, and tied this to the issuing of currency. So a stock market bubble involving French financial assets ensued as well, and then it all eventually collapsed. But the amazing thing is Macleod's tying how similar the laws are now to then. Now, it's not a perfect tie, but some of the more interesting points is, one, he used government debt as the monetary base, which is what every country is doing in the world these days. Secondly, he got state support. So he tied in to the currency asset values. And this is very similar to what we see today with pension plans and sovereign wealth funds, that these entities are, in many instances, required by law to buy bonds and stocks and real estate in the country in which they operate. So he got state support as well, very similar to today. He also issued partial shares sort of as derivatives to create leverage in the system. And throughout this whole experiment, Law was issuing more and more currency. And unfortunately, what he was doing, because they changed the laws where you had to use his money or the new French money to pay taxes, he was taking in money like gold and silver and issuing fiat paper that had no backing. And if my history lessons in high school correct, this scheme pretty much lasted for just 1 year before the inflationary pressure by all the excess money they printed finally caused the confidence to collapse and the system unwound. But again, it's similar to central banks today, issuing ever increasing amounts of fiat paper that are backed by real assets in the economy. So eventually, if you keep issuing paper, that paper is going to become worth less and less. And the one lesson from this article that's apparent is that when you're in a fiat currency meltdown or a weak currency, quite often financial assets do well because it's part of the masking process. So anyway, I encourage people to have a look at this if they have the time. But again, just an interesting history lesson as to why you need a hedge against any sort of financial system that you are in. Thanks for watching.